The Doughboys were great and helpful troops in World War I. The Doughboys were the first American troops to enter the war. They entered nameless and by the end of the war came out with a nickname that would stick forever. They were able to change the course of the way the war would take. America entered World War I and joined the Allied side. This side consisted of France, Britain, Russia, Japan, and Italy, while the other side, which were called the Central Powers, consisted of Germany, Austria-Hungary, Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria. The Doughboys were the first set of American soldiers to enter and fight in World War I. Their general was John Pershing. He was the commander of the American Expeditionary Forces in World War I. They were named the Doughboys as they had entered the war way later than many of the other troops. The other troops were very skinny, while those American troops were healthier and stronger. They also had uniforms that were a little different from other troops. They wore hats known as a Montana peak. Their uniform was long, tall white socks, a pullover shirt, breeches or trousers, a tunic with a high collar at the neck. The uniform was made out of cotton or wool. They also had packs, and in the packs was a mess kit, toiletries, extra socks, tent pieces, emergency rations, and a spade for trenching. They were drafted as soldiers that knew how to fight, as America was trying to gather troops quickly to send to France. Samuel Woodville is known to be one of the very best doughboys to fight in World War I. So here today we have Samuel Woodville. He was a part of the doughboy troops of World War I.
Yes, I fought in many wars, including World War I. I was ranked as first lieutenant, and I served in the U.S. Army. I served in the Army for about 24 years. I was born in Madison, Indiana, on January 6, 1883.
Tell me more about past with your family.
My father was a veteran of the Mexican-American War and Civil War. I also had older brothers who were in the war. They also liked to hunt, so by age of 10, I was able to handle a gun. At the age of 15, I tried to join the Army but was rejected, until I tried again when I was 18 and got accepted in 1901.
Wow, that is great. What other battles or wars did you fight in?
I fought in the Philippine-American War, World War I, World War II. One of the major battles I fought in was the Ypres-Aragon battle in World War I.
You are most known for World War I. Why is that?
There was a huge attack heading toward my troops. As the first lieutenant, I took matters into my own hands. So one other soldier and I went to find an enemy machine gun nest. I saw some gunners and I was able to take them out in one hit. I was then able to keep going and take out multiple machine gun nests, but I was unfortunately hit with mustard gas. In the end, some other soldiers and I ended up about 15 machine gun nests. After this day, I spent about 10 weeks in the hospital recovering from the effects of mustard gas.
Oh wow, that sounds quite dangerous. Did you receive any awards from fighting and being in the Army?
I have earned the Medal of Honor and I have been named the most decorated soldier of World War I.
Thank you for your time.
On the field, but there were also many other doughboy soldiers as well. They were the best of the best for America at the time of need, as they were the few that could fight without needing to be trained. They fought in the Meuse-Argonne battle and helped push the Germans back. They helped put an end to World War I. About 24 million men were able to be drafted, but only a couple were able to start fighting right away. They were first entered into World War I in around June 1917. They did not start fighting till October 21st, 1917. They started to help fight with the Allied side. The Germans were the only Central Power left, as Austria-Hungary, Bulgaria, and the Ottoman Empire pulled out of the war. Russia also pulled out from the Allied side. As fights were going on, tactics were being thought of, and some of the generals from the U.S. found a spot in the Germans' wall that was easy to attack on. This was in between the Meuse River and the Argonne Forest. This battle was over 25 miles long and 35 miles deep in trenches. This battle stretched along the entire western front. The Allied side was able to rush almost all of the German side. This forced many of the German soldiers to surrender. This would be one of the last battles that the doughboy soldiers would fight in World War I. The result of this battle led to the winning of World War I for the Allied side. There were around 1,250,000 American soldiers, about 249,259 draftees that were able to be chosen to become a doughboy. They called up only 86,724 to become doughboy soldiers. Around 26,000 soldiers died in this battle, but in World War I, around 53,402 doughboy soldiers were killed. They helped World War I and helped the Allies win. Doughboy soldiers pushed Germany back and helped change the course of the war. They kept fighting from 1917 to 1918 to help hold off the Central Powers and to eventually win the war. These were the first ever American soldiers to enter World War I.